Hey guys, Matt here. This is my review of Zack Snyder's Justice League. This movie is directed by the man himself, Zack Snyder, who brought us 300, Watchmen, and Man of Steel. This movie stars Ben Affleck, Gal Gadot, Jason Momoa, Ezra Miller, Ray Fisher, and Henry Cavill, as well as a bunch of new actors and actresses added to this version. Now, for those of you that don't know, back in 2017, Zack Snyder was the director of the original Justice League, but halfway through production, he had to leave and step away. So Joss Whedon took over. Instead of getting Zack Snyder's original 4-hour vision, we got a movie that was an amalgamation of Zack Snyder's content as well as Joss Whedon's jokey and more lighthearted content, and we got a 2-hour movie that was kind of disappointing. So now we get Zack Snyder's full 4-hour original version. So just like The Irishman or other long epics, I feel it's fair to warn you that this movie is 4 hours long. It's separated into 6 parts with an epilogue. But don't worry, fans. This movie is smooth, and it glides along. Granted, aside from the parts that say Part 1 or Part 2, you can't tell it's that long. Because, yeah, there are a couple scenes that drag on, but the movie has you enthralled, and its content and the tone are the same all the way through. Now, Zack Snyder's 4-hour Justice League is kind of long. But this movie fleshes out a bunch of the characters, both heroes and villains alike, to help you understand the journey that they're both going through. The plot is basically the same, where you have Batman trying to assemble a team to prepare for the war or the darkness that's coming. This version, however, focuses more on Cyborg, someone who didn't get the credit he was due in the last movie, who got a minimum of scenes, it seems like, and not a lot of character development. They glossed over a lot of things involving him and Darkseid, but here, it's all fleshed out. Not only are his scenes fleshed out, Cyborg is felt important in this movie. He actually carries the film. But also, Barry Allen is the Flash. Ezra Miller's Flash in the first one kind of came off as like this very naive and nerdy and scared person that liked the idea of being a hero but didn't know how to do it. In this film, that's changed a bit. He's still, nerdy and shy and timid, and, he has that shtick to him. But here, it's, okay, when it's time to step up to the plate, he will do it. And one of my negatives of this version of the film is there are a couple scenes that I thought fit well into the original version. For instance, the scene where the Flash is hesitant on saving people, and Batman tells him, just save one person. Stuff like that I felt could have stayed in, but overall it's a completely different movie as far as the tone goes. Also, Steppenwolf. Steppenwolf, the villain in this film, is no longer just a CGI'd bland character that's voiced by Ciarán Hinds. No, here he has a purpose and a mission, and we're given that. He's fleshed out. His armor looks really cool. It's all metal and spiky, so it's a little distracting, but his reasons for doing things are there and established. You don't necessarily root for him, but you're like, okay, I understand why he's here, not just some big bad CGI monster trying to, fight the good guys. Also, Darkseid is in this film, and seeing him was a breath of fresh air because, one, it sets, the needle point to the compass of the direction they can head going forward, but also it made the stakes higher. It made the battles, the fights, the action, and everything more important and on the line. Because you knew that if this Thanos-like character, yes, he's going to get those comparisons, is on his way to Earth, then these heroes better grow and get stronger fast. Also, this movie does have some scenes, like I said, that focused on Cyborg and Flash, and because of that, we get a lot more of Cyborg's father. His character's name is Silas Stone, and he's played by Joe Morton. He was the black guy that worked at Cyberdyne Systems in Terminator 2, the guy with the arm scene, that guy. But I've always liked him as an actor. From Smallville to Terminator to this, he's really good in this movie. Also, it focuses more on the Amazonians, which was good. Aquaman and his time underwater, so you have, returning characters from other movies that have come out since Justice League, but I liked it because it made the world and the entire environment feel like they were all in need, and they all had to band together to fight this threat. They extend on a fight scene where Darkseid comes to Earth in the flashback in the original movie where they're talking about the mother boxes. That's more fleshed out. You get to see more DC characters, which is awesome. But overall, this version of Justice League is darker in tone. Yes, it's longer. There are some scenes that are cut out, but there are other scenes that are added to give the story more context. And yes, there is an epilogue. There's a scene or two in the epilogue that kind of feels like Lord of the Rings, where you know it's the end of the movie, but they almost wanted to shoehorn in a bunch of content to be like, hey, guess what? If we do more movies, we can expand on this, or we can work on this. But just like with the New Mutants, that X-Men movie that came out last year, that was supposed to come out 4 or 5 years ago, because we don't know if this franchise is going to be, expanded upon or going forward with changes that have been made, I don't know if we have those to look forward to it. But I really hope we do, because this version of Justice League is a night and day version of the other one, and it's very good. And yes, Superman is in this film. And don't worry, he looks much, much better. He doesn't look like a goof with his mustache CGI'd off. Here, he's given actual purpose. And one thing I really like about this film is that it shows you the impact that Superman has on this world and these characters. His cries and his voice is literally heard around the world at the opening of this film. And when he shows back up, just like, instilling hope in the characters in this film, the audience feels that hope as well. Because now you're like, yes, and you remember how good it was to have the character like Superman back on the big screen, back in the middle of the action. And one thing I really like about this movie is that it acts as the third part in the Zack Snyder Man of Steel trilogy. In Dawn of Justice, Batman vs. Superman, Superman wasn't really given a whole lot to do in that film. Yeah, he was the co-star, but there was no fleshing out of his character. There was no context given. Here, we're given that. So, Man of Steel, Batman vs. Superman, Dawn of Justice, and now Zack Snyder's Justice League does the Man of Steel justice. So because of that, because of the inclusion of Superman feels more important, inspiring, and hopeful. The characters are fleshed out, the music is really good, the action is awesome, the tone is darker, and this kind of gives us some direction going forward. I'm going to give Zack Snyder's Justice League an A-. Let's just hope the praise and all the, acclaim this movie is getting raises some eyebrows and turns some heads, because we want more of this. So until next time, guys, see ya.